Manchester United 2, Everton 0, getting goals from Martial and a goal from McTominay sealed the win. It was a good performance from Manchester United today. Man United kept the ball well, rotated the ball well. The wingers, Anthony and Sancho, big shout out to the way they played today. Bruno from deep orchestrating a lot of the attacks. There's a lot to be pleased about today. Erickson came back from injury towards the end and came on today. It was good to see Erickson. All round, really good performance, really good movement on and off the ball from all of the players. It was a good game. To be honest, Everton made it that there was a lot of space in the midfield for us today. So yes, they made it easy for United, but still United capitalised and punished Everton in the end. There was a lot of chances today, and in some parts you can argue United lacked quality. Nonetheless, the game was won. There's a lot to talk about today. Like I said, the performance of the lads in general, the way we played, the way we kept the ball, what to look forward to, because this is not Ten Hag ball, but we're starting to get back to seeing some resemblance of Ten Hag ball. We are. So there's a lot to talk about today. The finishing wasn't good, so we're going to have to talk about that as well. Good to see Martial on the scoring sheet. We're going to talk about that. So yeah, let's go, guys. Good game. Really good. If you're not... Really good, enjoyable game today. Lots to talk about. As usual, before we get into the game, smash the like, turn on the notifications, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Subscribe. It's a brand new channel where we just debrief and have a chat about the game and just analyze what we saw, just what went on. That's all we do here on this channel. So let's talk about the lineup. As usual, let's mention the lineup first and foremost. Hope you guys are good, by the way. Hope you guys are having a good day, good week. The sun's out. It's a good Saturday today. And yeah, hopefully it will be a good bank holiday weekend for everybody. But yeah, the game, the lineup. Interesting to see Maguire start. I guess Maguire has to play games. I don't know if Varane's injured. He might be. But, Maguire starting with Martinez, that's quite interesting. Shaw, I believe, is injured, so Malacia started. I like Malacia anyway. I think Shaw probably has better technical ability than Malacia, and he's more comfortable or assured on the ball than Malacia. But Malacia gives a level of intensity that Shaw just doesn't give. Malacia doesn't drop back. He doesn't stand off his man. He always engages. So you have to win a battle with Malacia, where Shaw, he stands off a little bit. So there's a difference in the way they play. And like I said, where maybe Luke Shaw's more assured on the ball than Malacia, perhaps at the moment, Malacia maybe makes it up with more aggression and tenacity. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I've got no problems with him starting on the right because he has been playing well. And Dalot, even though he started the season really good, he's had a few games where he hasn't been that good recently. So Aaron started. Same midfield who played well last game and the same midfield who played badly in the first time they played has now played 3 games in a row. And today they played well, but we're going to obviously talk about the game later on. Sabitzer, McTominay, Bruno. Once again, Bruno and McTominay playing a bit more deeper. Bruno playing the deepest. Bruno playing essentially the number 6 role out of the front 3. And Sabitzer maybe playing more forward, which is quite interesting, and the same front 3 that started in the last game. And I think it was good. It was wise for him to do that. I would be tempted, so tempted to start Martial because of what I know he can bring to the team and what I know Ten Hag rates him. Ten Hag always speaks positively about him, and we've seen what we can be and the type of football we can play with this guy on the pitch. We've seen it. But however, there's no rush to start him. He's still coming back from injury. So I get why he was continuing with that front 3. And like I said, the front 3 started when they played well in the last match. Give them another run out. That's what Ten Hag, or how Ten Hag likes to operate his ship. He's the manager that says, if you play well, I don't care even if you're first choice or third choice. If you play well, I might give you another run out because you deserve it. And I like that. I like that about Ten Hag. So I'm fine with the lineup. Let me know what you guys think about the lineup. I know some people would have argued Fred might want, they might want Fred to start, Martial to start or whatever. But I guess that might be irrelevant because we won the game anyway. So yeah, let's talk about the game. Did you guys like the game? I enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed it. It was one of those games that was really, really, really frustrating to watch because, as we all saw, United had chance after chance after chance after chance. And it got to a point where I was thinking to myself, do these guys want to score? Are these guys purposely trying not to score? Because my Lord, okay, within the first 6 minutes, guys, Rashford had a chance. Set through on goal, straight into the goalkeeper or straight at the goalkeeper. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. That's a really good thing. Because the one thing about United is I know when we're about to have a good game, when within the first 6, 7, 8 minutes, we put the team on the back foot. And not only do we put the team on the back foot, I always feel like we're going to play a more Ten Hag type of football match, right? Once I see our defenders move up to the halfway line. Once I see and even though I'm nervous to see Maguire move up to the halfway line because Maguire is slow and we don't need to go into the details about, Maguire's deficiencies. But playing a high line, which is what Ten Hag, which is what Arsenal and Man City all do, all the best teams do, we will struggle to do it with Maguire on the pitch. But once we do it, and when we are doing it, it means we are playing more Ten Hag style of football, which means today's going to be a good day. Usually, right? Usually. So when I saw that happening in the first 6, 7, 8 minutes, when I saw our defenders push up, when I see us squeezing Everton, I was like, okay, cool. All right, this could be one of those fruitful games. This could be one of those games where I'm like, do you know what? We played okay. And we did. We'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. We played good. Like I said, within the first 10 minutes, we pinned them back. We started moving the ball. We kept the ball. And that's one thing that's important. Recently, the last 2, 3, you can even argue 5, 6 games, we've been reverting back to our old ways. Ten Hag has said it in his press conferences in the sense that we've been going back to a more transition-based team, sitting back, counter-attack, hit the ball to Rashford. Ten Hag wants to play a more possession-based football. He does. And that benefits Sancho, Anthony, those sort of technical players that some people and a lot of people still don't appreciate because they only see football in one way. They only see football played one way. Wingers, isolate your fullbacks, get past them, cross the ball in, or whatever. Football is fluid. Players are different. Wingers are all different. And football can be played in many different ways. Pep Guardiola is showing us that, you can play football without striker and still win a Premier League. So we must be expansive in the way we see football. And once we become more possession-based football, once we become more assured on the ball, and we see today, because today, personally, before we even go into it, Sancho was my man of the match today. He was so technically assured on the ball. But like I said, the more we play a certain type of football, is the more we'll bring out of certain players. Chance after chance to the first half, guys. Let's go through the chance. Anthony hit the post from the corner. That's the first, big chance. Straight after that, Aaron Wan-Bissaka literally missed the open goal. And all he had to do was just side foot it into the net and he missed the open goal. Just that lack of quality. Everton had a chance. Sims just walked through our defence like he had the VIP ticket, like he was on the guest list to the biggest rave. He just walked through. That was like a, warning signal. Straight after that, Sabitzer had a chance. I think he hit it straight at the keeper. But once again, that chance that Sabitzer had came from really good play from Sancho and Anthony. And what I liked about Sancho in the first half as well is that he was so comfortable on the ball. He doesn't lose the ball. And it's so like just having a player that will always give the ball back to his teammate. That is such a nice thing to know as a manager. I'm pretty sure, I don't know the stats, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sancho had about at least 90%, 85 or something percent possession today, literally. Anthony. The chances Anthony had. And we're going to talk about Bruno as well today. Because, Anthony's first chance, straight at the goalkeeper. The finish was straight at the goalkeeper. But the ball from Bruno was so good. But the finish from Anthony was just so poor. He had to score. And not only did he have to score, he was literally put through 2 minutes later. 2 minutes later, the guy was put through again and he missed. He couldn't get his shot away. And I was thinking two things. One, he's making those runs, which he might not have made before. And not only is he making those runs, his pace is getting him past the players. So I'm seeing things that I haven't seen before. However, Anthony, my man, you have to score, bro. You have to score those because people are on your neck. I like you. You're my baller. I can see the potential. You're an uncut diamond, very raw, But with refinement, we could have a baller on our hands. We've seen what he can do. We've seen it. We've seen his technical ability. He needs to use his right foot. He does. But Anthony had to finish one of those chances. He really did. And then Rashford. Straight after that, Rashford, once again, he was put through, I think, by Scott McTominay around the 25th minute. Straight at the goalkeeper. And then literally 2 minutes after that, put through. I think he tried to lob the goalkeeper. Pickford came out. Pickford was big. And for me, he probably should have tried to go round the goalkeeper. But, hindsight and all of these things, easier said than done. He tried to lob the goalkeeper. And at that point, I don't know if you guys have played football. I mean, a lot of you guys would have played football. But, when you're playing football and you're having chance after chance after chance, and you're missing the most basic chances, literally. And you see the goalkeeper just grow in confidence, and the goalkeeper starts to celebrate in front of your face when he saves it and starts to jump up and down and stuff. It can easily start to defeat you mentally. And it got to a point where I looked at all the chances United were having, chance after chance after chance, and I saw the reaction from some of our attackers, and I thought to myself, do you know what? If we score today, the first goal is not going to come from one of our attackers. I think Pickford has mentally beaten our attackers. He's won. He's killed them. They literally can't beat him. You're through on goal and you're gonna start to second guess yourself all the time now. Because he's saved so many chances where you could have scored, rather than going into the bottom corner, bottom left, where you usually go, you're going to go to the bottom right. And then he's going to save it. And then you're going to be like, damn, even when I do the thing that I don't usually do to try to score, he still saves it. So you're just going to start getting messed up in your head. It can easily happen, I'm telling you. And you could tell that Jordan was growing, and Rashford and Anthony, those guys, I mean, Sancho wasn't really taking many shots anyway. But I could feel that if our opening goal, if he scored at all today, weren't going to come from our attackers. Pickford he'd won that game of chess. He'd done it. So yeah, the first goal came. It finally came, and it came from Scott McTominay. And Scott is not my kind of baller. Scott is very basic. But one thing about Scott McTominay, I don't want to diss the guy, because I think our midfield actually played well today, including him. So there's no need to be coming down on him. One thing I can say about Scott, positive, he strikes the ball very cleanly. He does. He strikes the ball very cleanly. He's very aggressive, and he's got a fantastic engine on him. I will say those three things are definitely true. And he played well today. Good finish. He did what the strikers weren't doing. He just put his foot through the ball, smash. Good finish from Scott. 1-0 up. Like I said, United were playing well without scoring. You know, Bruno today. I want to talk about Bruno quickly in the first half. I think Everton sat back a lot today, and like I said, gave us a lot of space. There was a lot of space in midfield. Bruno as a number 10 has never worked for me. It does not work at all, guys. He's not a number 10 at all. He is, for me, a number 8. In a perfect world, he would play on the right-hand side of a midfield 3, like Kevin De Bruyne does. It would be, Bruno on the right-hand side, Pogba on the left-hand side, and Casemiro as a DM. In a perfect world, that would be, a midfield, or that would be Bruno's position. But we played him in number 10 for long enough, and he's not a number 10. He can't play in tight spaces. He doesn't have the feet. He just doesn't have the feet in the Premier League to play in those tight little spaces. He doesn't. We all know he doesn't. But however, I come down on him, and I do criticize him when he needs to be criticized. But I will say this: when he's given more space and time, as he has been in the last few games, to just play simple passes, not too elaborate, not too flashy all the time, keep the ball ticking, and also when you can, spot the run from deep, do the Pogba thing. Pogba was so amazing at it. Spot the run from deep, give the ball. Once he's asked to be more or take less risks all the time, he just looks like a better player. And long may it continue. Bruno had a good game today, and I enjoyed his performance. The midfield 3, so even Sabitzer had a good game, a good first half as well. But yeah, the first half was good for Man United. We didn't make any changes in the second half. And the second half more or less continued down the same vein. However, we needed to score the second goal. Let's just say that. We needed to score the second goal. And the longer the second half went on, even though I didn't really feel threatened, at the same time, it felt like one of those games where, do you know what? Everton I bet this is going to be a 1-1 game. We've had so many chances to score 3, 4, 5, 6 today. It's only right. The gods will align, the stars will align, and it's only right that it's an end 1-1. I bet, and it's going to get me vexed, but it didn't end that way. We made the changes. Anthony came off for Martial. I think Anthony had a good game today. Personally, I don't know about what you guys think. I would have taken Rashford off. I think out the front 3, the weaker player today out the front 3 was Rashford today. No one played terrible, but I think Anthony had a good game. I think Sancho was my man of the match today. I know they gave it to Bruno, and I was going to give it to Bruno, but I gave it to Bruno last match, and I could easily give it to Bruno this match, but I think Sancho today was really, really good. But yeah, I would have taken off Rashford. I really would have, and brought on Martial and see what Martial, Anthony, Sancho can do. But I understand why you want to keep Rashford on, because he's a goal threat. He didn't play that well today, and let's be honest, he hasn't been playing that well the last 3-4 games, Rashford, but he's scoring most of our goals. He's the goal threat. I guess you keep him on. Simple as that. That's probably what it was, but I would have taken off Rashford today. He didn't. Anthony came off. Anthony probably was a bit disappointed to come off. You can see it in his face he was, but I'm glad. I want that fire. I want that competition. I want Sancho to be playing well. I want Anthony to be playing well. I want them to push each other, and I want them to compete. That's what you want. You want it to be hard to choose. You want it to be like, Anthony or Sancho today, Rashford or Martial. You don't want it to be just easy, because that means that the squad is not balanced. So, yeah, Everton did try to mount some sort of comeback. 65, 66 minutes, a few free kicks and corners, a bit of pressure. Like I said, I was thinking to myself, what are we doing? We had this game under control, you know. However, we scored. Quite an easy goal, counter-attack. Rashford pulled it back from Martial. Composed, finished. It's good to have this guy back, guys. It's good to have him back. Really composed finish from Martial. And we just play better football with Martial. Can't hate the guy as much as everybody wants to hate him. We play better football with Martial. Do we need a striker who is fit? Yes, we do. We buy another striker. We have Martial. Imagine having Martial, who's probably the main striker for most teams, as our like third choice, just on the bench. How good is that? You know? So yeah, good goal. Like I said, all the other strikers weren't finishing today, but Martial, composed as ever, took his time, controlled it, nestled it into the goal. Good performance today from the guys. Like I said, there wasn't anybody who really played badly. Everyone had a sound game. The defense was sound. Maguire had a decent game today. Martinez, good game today. You know, Aaron was playing some nice one-touch football. Malacia, good game. The midfield three, they're playing better. The first time we saw those guys together, it was an ugly sight. 2-3 games later, now listen, this is not, the midfield three that we all want to see long term. No. But at least for now, they seem to have found their position, their rhythm. For now, as it seems. Good to see Erickson come back at the end. Sabitzer and Sancho came off. Fred and Erickson came on at the end. Good to see Erickson come back. We've missed Erickson. Soon as Erickson came on, he added a layer of composure to the way we played that we've missed for so long. Some of the passes that he made, I was like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we need, a midfield player. Imagine just having someone like De Jong now added on top of that. It's good to be optimistic. It's good to be positive now that we have Erickson back. And I think the Casemiro's ban is now over. So now we have Casemiro back. The business end of the season, we got Martial back, Erickson back, Casemiro back, Sancho playing well, Anthony feeling himself. So hopefully taking more pressure off, taking pressure off Rashford, alleviating pressure from Rashford in terms of goal scoring. So yeah, hopefully this is a positive and we can move on. We can keep going. So onwards and upwards, as I always say. What do you guys think? I'm going to give Sancho the man of the match today. Like I said, I could have given it to Bruno. Sancho was good today. Everything he did was just sound. He kept everything he did was sound. Technically just sound. He didn't do anything wrong. And for me, one of the most, if not the most important thing a footballer can possess is good decision making. If you just do and make the right decisions and keep the ball and do things simple, sometimes that is the most effective way to play football. Good game, Sancho. What do you guys think? Who is your man of the match? How did you guys think of the game? How did the game look like to you? Who do you think played well? Do you agree or disagree with anything I've said? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Talk to me. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Have a good bank holiday weekend as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Like, share, and subscribe as usual, guys. But yeah, comment below, guys. Leave your comment below. I want to know what you think. Share some knowledge. What do you guys think about the Qatar bid? I haven't spoken about that at all on this channel. What do you guys think about it? Are United going to be sold? Because this thing is like a circus, this whole thing. But yeah, it's a good game. I enjoyed the game. What do you guys think of the game? Comment below. Let me know your thoughts and have a good weekend. If you're not